Did you know that one simple mistake after 50 can speed up aging faster than smoking? Yes, it's not your genes, it's your habits. And most people over 50 are doing at least 3 of these 18 mistakes every single day without realizing it. Stay with me. Because today, we're decoding the biggest health traps people fall into after 50 woo and what to do instead so you can stay strong, sharp, and full of energy. Welcome to Wellness Decode, where we uncover the truth behind lasting health, simply, naturally, and scientifically. After the age of 50, your body doesn't just change on the outside. It changes at the cellular level, and the choices you make every day determine whether those changes speed up aging or slow it down. Most people believe that getting older automatically means gaining weight, losing muscle, and feeling tired all the time. But that's not true. What actually happens is that small daily mistakes compound over time, draining your energy and weakening your body's ability to repair itself. The first mistake many people make after 50 is skipping protein. It sounds harmless, especially when you're trying to eat lighter or lose weight, but this single habit can make a huge difference in how you age. Protein isn't just about building muscles in the gym. It's about maintaining every structure in your body. Your hair, skin, hormones, immune cells, enzymes, and even your brain chemistry depend on amino acids, the building blocks of protein. As you age, something called anabolic resistance develops, meaning your body doesn't use protein as efficiently as it once did. You might eat the same amount of protein you always have, but your body no longer builds or repairs tissue as effectively. That's why people over 50 often start losing muscle mass even if their weight stays the same. The result is slower metabolism, more fatigue, and less strength. You might notice it when climbing stairs feels harder or when you can't lift things that used to feel easy. When your muscle mass goes down, your metabolism slows down and your body starts storing more fat, even if your calorie intake hasn't changed. That's why so many people gain weight around their midsection after 50. Protein helps prevent this by supporting muscle growth and balancing blood sugar. It also helps you feel full longer, which means you naturally eat less throughout the day. A simple change like having eggs or Greek yogurt for breakfast instead of cereal can completely change your energy levels and hunger patterns. The goal isn't to eat massive amounts of meat or start a high-protein diet overnight. It's about being consistent with high-quality sources like eggs, fish, chicken, or plant-based proteins such as lentils and tofu. Each meal should contain enough protein to support your body's repair processes. Think of protein as a signal to your body saying, keep building, keep repairing. Without that signal, your body begins to break down instead, and once you lose muscle after 50, it becomes much harder to get it back. That's why the right amount of protein is not a diet choice anymore. It's a survival strategy for healthy aging. The second mistake people make is eating too frequently. For decades, we've been told to eat every 3 hours to keep our metabolism active. That advice might sound reasonable, but in reality, it works against your body's natural rhythm. When you eat all the time, your insulin levels never drop. Insulin is the hormone that tells your body to store fat, and when it stays high, fat burning shuts off. Your cells become resistant to insulin over time, which is the first step toward prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. Imagine you're constantly charging your phone without ever letting the battery drain. Eventually, the battery weakens. Your body works the same way. It needs breaks between meals to reset its metabolic system. When you stop eating for several hours, insulin drops, and your body switches into repair mode. This is when it starts burning stored fat for energy instead of relying on constant glucose from food. After 50, insulin sensitivity naturally decreases, meaning your body becomes less efficient at processing carbs. That's why constant snacking and grazing can be so damaging. When people try intermittent fasting, even a gentle version like eating within an 8-hour window and fasting for 16, they often notice clearer thinking, better digestion, and more stable energy. It's not just about eating less, it's about giving your body time to balance hormones and repair damaged cells. The liver, in particular, benefits from these fasting periods because it gets a chance to clear out fat deposits, and toxins. Some people fear fasting will make them lose muscle or feel weak, but the opposite happens when done correctly. Human growth hormone increases during fasting, which helps preserve lean muscle mass and promote cellular regeneration. If you're new to this, start slowly. Simply extend the time between dinner and breakfast by an hour or two. Skip unnecessary snacks unless you're truly hungry. Within a week or two, you'll notice your cravings decrease because your blood sugar becomes more stable. It's a simple but powerful way to support your metabolism after 50. The body is designed for cycles of eating and resting, not constant feeding. Once you respect that rhythm, your energy and focus return naturally. The third mistake is avoiding fat. This one runs deep because many people were taught for decades that fat clogs arteries and leads to heart disease. As a result, entire generations started buying low-fat foods, replacing butter with margarine and cutting out eggs. But what actually increased wasn't health. It was obesity, diabetes, and chronic fatigue. The truth is that your body needs fat. It's not the enemy, it's fuel, structure, and communication. Every cell membrane in your body is made of fat. Your brain is nearly 60% fat. Your hormones, estrogen, testosterone, and cortisol, are built from cholesterol. When you deprive your body of fat, everything starts to malfunction. Healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, coconut oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish provide essential fatty acids that reduce inflammation and keep your heart and brain functioning properly. The problem arises with the wrong kinds of fat. Processed vegetable oils such as soybean, canola corn, and sunflower oils are often oxidized and cause inflammation in the arteries. These oils are hidden in packaged snacks, salad dressings, and fried foods. They damage cells at a microscopic level and accelerate aging. On the other hand, natural fats like those found in wild salmon or grass-fed butter nourish the body. They help absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, which are critical for immune health and bone strength. If you've been avoiding fat for years, your hormones may already be suffering. You might notice low energy, dry skin, brain fog, or mood swings. Those are often signs of fat deficiency, not excess. Adding a drizzle of olive oil to your vegetables or eating a handful of almonds can make a surprising difference. Don't fear foods that are naturally fatty, fear foods that are artificially fat-free. After 50, healthy fats are your body's best ally for stable energy and hormonal balance. When your diet includes the right fats, your brain functions better, your mood improves, and your heart stays stronger. The fourth mistake is ignoring sleep quality. Sleep isn't just rest, it's a biological reset button. After 50, many people experience lighter or interrupted sleep. They wake up several times a night or find it hard to fall asleep at all. The problem is that poor sleep does far more than make you tired. It disrupts every system in the body. Lack of deep sleep increases cortisol, the stress hormone, which in turn raises blood sugar and makes it harder to lose weight. It also weakens your immune system and accelerates cognitive decline. If you've ever noticed that your memory or mood worsens after several nights of poor sleep, that's not coincidence. It's biology. During deep sleep, your body produces growth hormone, repairs tissues, and clears toxins from the brain. Skipping that stage of sleep means you wake up feeling unrefreshed and struggle to think clearly. Many people turn to sleeping pills or alcohol to fall asleep, but these interfere with the very stages of sleep your body needs most. Quality matters more than quantity. 7 hours of deep, uninterrupted sleep is far more restorative than 9 hours of light, restless sleep. To improve sleep naturally, focus on your environment and rhythm. Keep your room dark and slightly cool. Avoid bright screens and heavy meals before bed. Blue light from phones and televisions signals your brain to stay awake, blocking melatonin production. Try reading a book or listening to soft music instead. If you wake up often during the night, check your caffeine intake earlier in the day. Caffeine can linger in your system for up to 10 hours. Another powerful habit is going to bed at the same time every night. Your body's circadian rhythm depends on consistency. When your sleep and wake times are predictable, your hormones stay in sync. Some people find that magnesium-rich foods, such as leafy greens or almonds, help them relax in the evening. Deep breathing or light stretching before bed also lowers cortisol and prepares your body for rest. Over time, better sleep improves memory, focus, and metabolism. It also slows the aging process because your body produces collagen and repairs DNA during those deep sleep hours. You can think of sleep as your natural anti-aging therapy that costs nothing and requires no prescription. When you combine these 4 principles, getting enough protein, spacing out your meals, embracing healthy fats, and protecting your sleep, you give your body the foundation it needs to thrive after 50. Each one supports the others. Protein helps rebuild tissue, fasting gives your body repair time, healthy fats stabilize hormones, and quality sleep ties it all together by allowing those processes to work efficiently. The beauty of these changes is that they're simple and free. They don't depend on fancy supplements or extreme diets. They depend on understanding how your body truly works and aligning your habits with that natural design. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean wisdom, strength, and renewal. If you avoid these mistakes and start making choices that work with your body, not against it. One of the most overlooked aspects of staying healthy after 50 is movement. And this is where strength training becomes essential. Too many people assume that exercise at this age should only involve light cardio, walking, or stretching. While those activities are beneficial, they do not stop the natural process of muscle loss that occurs as we get older. Beginning around age 30, the body starts losing muscle mass little by little, and that process accelerates after 50. This gradual decline in muscle, called sarcopenia, is one of the biggest reasons people experience weakness, slower metabolism, and even instability that leads to falls and fractures later in life. It is not simply a matter of aging, but a result of disuse. The body adapts to whatever we demand from it, and when we stop challenging our muscles, they begin to shrink. Lifting weights or doing resistance exercises sends a powerful signal to your body that strength is still required. It's not about lifting heavy weights or becoming a bodybuilder. It's about stimulating your muscles enough to keep them active and strong. When you work against resistance, whether that's your own body weight, bands, or dumbbells, your muscles respond by rebuilding themselves stronger. That process also strengthens bones, ligaments, and joints, which become more vulnerable as you age. One of the reasons strength training is so powerful after 50 is that it directly supports your metabolism. Muscle tissue burns more calories at rest than fat tissue, meaning the more muscle you have, the more efficiently your body uses energy even while you're sitting still. Think of muscle as your body's engine. When that engine weakens, everything slows down, energy declines, posture worsens, and balance becomes unsteady. Many people notice they can't get up from a chair as easily or carry groceries without strain. Not realizing these are early signs of muscle loss, regular resistance training reverses that trend. It improves mobility, confidence, and overall vitality. The key is consistency. 2 to 3 sessions per week of focused strength training is enough to maintain and even build muscle at any age. Combine that with adequate protein, and the results can be life-changing. Another mistake that quietly undermines health after 50 is poor hydration. Most people believe they drink enough water, but the truth is that as we age, our thirst signals become weaker. The brain's ability to detect dehydration declines, so by the time you feel thirsty, your body is already behind. This leads to a slow, constant state of dehydration that affects nearly every function in your body. Water is involved in digestion, nutrient absorption, joint lubrication, and temperature regulation. When the body lacks water, the blood becomes thicker, the heart has to work harder, and energy levels drop. Mild dehydration often shows up as fatigue, brain fog, or even hunger. Many people eat when they're actually thirsty, which contributes to weight gain and digestive discomfort. After 50, staying hydrated becomes even more important because the kidneys, which regulate fluid balance, may not function as efficiently as they once did. Dehydration also affects skin elasticity, making wrinkles appear deeper and skin appear dull. Even small changes in hydration can make a visible difference in how you look and feel. It's not just about drinking plain water all day. You can hydrate effectively through foods and natural beverages as well. Cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, and leafy greens have high water content and add minerals that plain water doesn't provide. Herbal teas are another great option, especially if you find water boring. What you should avoid are sugary drinks, sodas, and so-called diet beverages that use artificial sweeteners. These can trigger insulin spikes or bloating and do nothing for hydration. Caffeine in large amounts can also dehydrate you, so balancing coffee with extra water is essential. A simple rule of thumb is to sip small amounts of water consistently throughout the day rather than drinking large amounts all at once. The quality of water also matters. Filtered water helps reduce exposure to chemicals or heavy metals that can accumulate over time and burden the liver and kidneys. Some people add a pinch of sea salt or electrolyte powder to their water to help with absorption, especially after sweating or exercising. Staying hydrated keeps your brain sharp, your joints comfortable, and your digestion smooth. It even helps regulate body temperature and supports detoxification. Proper hydration is one of the simplest and most powerful anti-aging tools available, yet it's one of the most overlooked. Moving from hydration to nutrition, one of the greatest mistakes people over 50 make is relying too heavily on processed foods. They are everywhere, they're convenient, and they often seem harmless because they're marketed as healthy. But processed foods are not real nourishment. They are our products engineered for long shelf life, taste, and profit, not for human health. When food is processed, it loses fiber, minerals, and vitamins. What's left behind is usually a combination of refined carbohydrates, vegetable oils, and additives that confuse your metabolism and promote inflammation. These foods cause rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin, which eventually lead to energy crashes, weight gain, and insulin resistance. Over time, this cycle contributes to chronic diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. What's worse, processed foods often contain chemicals that interfere with your gut microbiome, the community of beneficial bacteria that protect your immune system and aid digestion. When your gut health suffers, inflammation rises throughout your body, affecting everything from your skin to your mood. After 50, the body becomes less forgiving of poor food choices. Digestion slows, nutrient absorption decreases, and the ability to handle toxins weakens. The only way to counteract this is to simplify your diet by returning to real whole foods. Think about ingredients your grandparents would recognize: vegetables, fruits, fish, eggs, nuts, and whole grains in their natural form are far superior to anything that comes in a box or bag. Cooking at home becomes one of the most powerful health habits you can adopt. It gives you control over ingredients, portion sizes, and quality. Even small changes like replacing breakfast cereal with oats and berries or replacing chips with raw almonds can make a noticeable difference in energy and weight stability. There's another hidden danger with processed foods. They often contain seed oils like soybean or canola oil that promote inflammation in the arteries. These oils oxidize easily when heated, producing compounds that damage cells and accelerate aging. Replacing them with olive oil or avocado oil makes a big difference. Also, processed foods usually contain too much sodium and too little potassium, disrupting your body's fluid balance and blood pressure regulation. Whole foods naturally contain both in the right proportions. When you eat real food, your body receives what it needs without the chemical confusion. Over time, this not only improves your physical health, but also your mental clarity and emotional stability. A good way to judge food quality is to read labels. If it has a long list of ingredients you can't pronounce, it's not something your body will recognize as food. Real food nourishes you, while processed food only fills you temporarily and leaves you craving more. The more you rely on natural, unprocessed foods, the easier it becomes to maintain a healthy weight, stable energy, and strong immunity. This shift doesn't require perfection, just awareness and gradual change. The next mistake many people make after 50 is avoiding sunlight. Because of decades of warnings about skin cancer and premature aging, people have developed a fear of the sun. While it's true that excessive exposure can be harmful, avoiding sunlight entirely has become a silent health crisis. Sunlight is the most natural and powerful source of vitamin D, a hormone-like nutrient essential for bone health, immune function, and mood regulation. After 50, vitamin D becomes even more important because the skin's ability to produce it from sunlight declines. Low vitamin D levels are linked to weakened bones, depression, and increased risk of infections. Many people spend most of their day indoors, in offices or homes with artificial lighting, and their bodies rarely get direct sunlight. As a result, they become chronically deficient in vitamin D without realizing it. Supplements can help, but they're not as effective as moderate, regular sun exposure. The sun triggers a cascade of biological reactions that no pill can fully replicate. Sunlight regulates your circadian rhythm, helping you sleep better at night. It boosts serotonin levels, improving mood and motivation. It even supports cardiovascular health by producing nitric oxide, which helps relax blood vessels and lower blood pressure. The key is moderation and timing. Early morning or late afternoon sunlight provides the benefits without the intense ultraviolet rays that cause damage. Exposing your face, arms, and legs for just 15 to 20 minutes a few times a week is enough for most people. If you live in a region with limited sunlight, especially during winter months, a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement paired with vitamin K2 can be beneficial. However, sunlight offers more than just vitamin D. It provides infrared light that penetrates deep into tissues, supporting mitochondrial function and overall cellular health. Avoiding sunlight completely not only weakens bones and immunity, but also affects mood and sleep. Many people who struggle with seasonal depression are simply reacting to a lack of natural light. Allowing sunlight into your morning routine by taking a short walk or sitting outside for a few minutes can dramatically shift your energy levels. Nature intended for humans to be in the sun. Our ancestors lived under natural light cycles and our bodies evolved to rely on them. Artificial lighting, while convenient, cannot replace the biological connection our bodies have with sunlight. Together, these four principles, strength training, proper hydration, real food, and sunlight, form a foundation for vitality after 50. Each one supports the others in a continuous loop. When you build muscle, you use water more efficiently. When you eat whole foods, your energy stabilizes, making exercise and hydration easier. When you get sunlight, your mood improves, helping you stay motivated to make better choices. The beauty of these habits lies in their simplicity. They do not require expensive equipment or complex plans, only a willingness to respect how the human body was designed to function. Aging well is not about resisting time, it's about aligning your daily habits with your body's natural intelligence so that every year you live adds not just length, but quality. One of the most underestimated aspects of health after 50 is the role of minerals in maintaining balance and vitality. Many people assume that if they're eating enough food, they're getting all the nutrients they need. But the truth is that modern diets, even those that appear healthy, are often lacking in key minerals like magnesium and potassium. These minerals are essential for nerve function, heart rhythm, muscle contractions, and cellular energy production. As we age, our ability to absorb and retain these nutrients decreases, while our need for them increases. This imbalance can cause a cascade of problems that most people don't immediately associate with mineral deficiency. Magnesium, for example, is involved in more than 300 biochemical reactions in the body. It helps regulate blood pressure, supports muscle and nerve function, and contributes to bone strength. Yet it's estimated that more than half of adults over 50 are deficient in it. Common symptoms of low magnesium include fatigue, anxiety, muscle cramps, irregular heartbeat, and trouble sleeping. Many people treat these symptoms separately with medications or supplements, not realizing they all stem from one underlying issue. Potassium is equally important. It works closely with sodium to maintain the body's fluid balance, keeps the heart functioning properly, and helps prevent high blood pressure. When potassium is low, you may experience muscle weakness, cramps, and even palpitations. Modern eating habits make this worse. Processed foods, which dominate most diets, are stripped of these minerals, while natural sources like leafy greens, avocados, nuts, and beans are eaten less frequently. Even the soil our food grows in has become depleted over time, leading to lower nutrient content in fruits and vegetables. To rebuild that mineral foundation, it's important to include foods rich in magnesium and potassium every day. Leafy greens like spinach and kale, nuts like almond seeds, and foods like avocados and bananas are simple but powerful sources. Some people also benefit from magnesium glycinate or citrate supplements, which are more easily absorbed. Staying hydrated enhances mineral absorption, so water and mineral intake go hand in hand. When your mineral levels are balanced, you can feel the difference quickly. Sleep becomes deeper, energy levels more stable, and blood pressure more consistent. It's remarkable how such small nutrients can have such a big impact. Neglecting them, on the other hand, accelerates aging. From one of the most common yet overlooked mistakes people make after 50 is relying too heavily on medications. Modern medicine has made incredible progress in treating disease and relieving symptoms, but the problem begins when prescriptions replace lifestyle as the foundation of health. Many people in their 50s, 60s, and beyond are on multiple medications, sometimes 5, 10, or even more, each with its own list of side effects and interactions. What often happens is that one medication is prescribed to treat the side effects of another, creating a cycle that leads to dependency rather than healing. Medications can be life-saving in certain situations, but they are not designed to restore health at its root. They manage symptoms, not causes. Imagine someone takes medication for high blood pressure, another for cholesterol, another for acid reflux, and one for sleep. Each of these conditions is influenced by lifestyle factors such as diet, stress, hydration, and physical activity. When those habits are ignored, the medication simply acts as a temporary patch. Over time, this approach dulls the body's natural ability to regulate itself. The liver and kidneys, which process these drugs, become overworked, and nutrient depletion can occur because some medications block the absorption of essential vitamins and minerals. For example, certain cholesterol-lowering drugs can reduce levels of coenzyme Q10, which the heart needs for energy. Acid blockers can interfere with magnesium and B12 absorption, leading to fatigue, muscle weakness, and even memory issues. The solution is not to throw away prescriptions, but to understand their role and work toward reducing the need for them. Small lifestyle changes can often achieve what medications do, but without the side effects. When someone begins to improve their diet, lose excess weight, exercise regularly, and manage stress, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels often normalize on their own. Doctors are usually supportive when patients take responsibility and make measurable improvements. The key is to view medication as a temporary aid while addressing the deeper imbalances causing the issue. The body has a remarkable ability to heal itself when given the right conditions. This is especially true after 50, when many of the problems people experience are not diseases of aging, but consequences of accumulated habits. Another mistake that silently damages health after 50 is not managing stress effectively. Stress is more than just a feeling. It is a biochemical state that can alter every system in the body. When stress becomes chronic, it keeps the body trapped in fight or flight mode. Cortisol levels stay elevated, which suppresses the immune system, raises blood sugar, and breaks down muscle tissue. Over time, this constant internal pressure leads to fatigue, insomnia, digestive problems, and even weight gain, particularly around the midsection. It also accelerates aging by shortening telomeres, the protective ends of DNA strands that determine cellular longevity. Many people underestimate stress because they think of it only as emotional tension, but the body doesn't distinguish between emotional, physical, or chemical stress. Poor sleep, processed food, and chronic dehydration are all forms of stress that strain the same hormonal pathways. When people over 50 experience memory lapses, low energy, or unexplained anxiety, it's often a sign that stress hormones are out of balance. The nervous system is constantly signaling the body to stay on alert, even when there is no real danger. This wears out the adrenal glands and disrupts normal hormonal cycles. The good news is that stress can be managed once you recognize how your body responds to it. Deep breathing exercises, for example, immediately activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body and lowers cortisol. Meditation, mindfulness, or even 10 minutes of silence can reset your mental state. Walking in nature, gardening, or engaging in creative hobbies also help because they shift your attention from mental noise to physical experience. The key is consistency. Stress management is not about eliminating stress completely. That's impossible. It's about building resilience so that your body can recover quickly after stressful events. When cortisol levels come down, the body begins to repair itself again. Sleep improves, blood pressure drops, and energy returns. Managing stress is not optional after 50. It's essential to maintain balance and prevent the silent damage that chronic tension can cause. A mistake just as damaging as unmanaged stress is withdrawing from social connection. After 50, many people experience major life changes. Children move out, careers slow down, or retirement begins. These transitions can lead to isolation if not handled consciously. Human beings are social by nature, and meaningful connection is one of the most powerful factors for longevity. Studies on longevity around the world consistently show that strong social bonds are more predictive of long life than diet, exercise, or even genetics. When you engage with others, your brain releases oxytocin and serotonin, chemicals that lower stress and improve mood. Isolation, on the other hand, increases inflammation in the body. It raises the risk of heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline. Many people underestimate how loneliness affects physical health. It can alter immune function, reduce sleep quality, and accelerate the progression of diseases. Staying socially active does not necessarily mean attending large events or constantly being around people. It means maintaining genuine connections that bring joy and purpose. Calling a friend, volunteering, joining a community group, or mentoring someone can create a sense of belonging that nourishes the spirit. Technology can be both a help and a hindrance. While video calls and social media can keep people in touch, they cannot replace real human interaction. Face-to-face communication engages nonverbal cues, eye contact, and physical presence, which stimulate the brain differently and more deeply. After 50, maintaining these connections becomes even more critical because they help keep the mind sharp and the heart open. When you have people to share life with, you are more likely to stay motivated, eat better, move more, and care for yourself. Emotional health is directly tied to physical well-being, and nurturing relationships can be as healing as any medicine. Closely related to social withdrawal is another common mistake: neglecting movement and posture. The human body is designed for motion, yet modern lifestyles encourage sitting for long hours, often in poor positions that strain the spine and weaken muscles. After 50, the effects of this become more noticeable. Stiff joints, lower back pain, and balance issues are not inevitable signs of aging. They are signs of disuse. Sitting for extended periods compresses the spine, tightens hip flexors, and weakens core muscles. This creates a chain reaction throughout the body, affecting circulation, digestion, and even lung capacity. When posture deteriorates, it affects confidence and energy as well. Slumping forward restricts breathing, which reduces oxygen delivery to the brain and muscles. Poor posture also adds pressure on the heart, forcing it to work harder to circulate blood. Over time, this contributes to fatigue and discomfort that people often mistake for aging. Restoring posture and movement starts with awareness. Simply standing tall with shoulders back and the head aligned over the spine can instantly improve how you feel. Movement doesn't have to mean intense workouts. It can be gentle stretching, yoga, walking, or even dancing. The key is to move frequently throughout the day. Breaking up long periods of sitting with short movement breaks has a profound effect on health. Every 30 minutes, standing up and walking for a few minutes stimulates circulation and resets muscle tension. Balance exercises help prevent falls, which are one of the leading causes of injury in older adults. Flexibility training keeps joints lubricated and improves coordination. The more you move, the younger your body feels. Posture and movement are not just physical habits, they influence your state of mind. When you move with confidence and grace, your mood improves, and you project vitality. Maintaining good posture is a simple but powerful way to preserve youthfulness at any age. Another mistake affects many people after 50 is ignoring hormonal balance. Hormones are the body's chemical messengers, and they control everything from metabolism to mood. As we age, levels of key hormones such as estrogen, testosterone, and thyroid hormones begin to shift. These changes are natural, but when they become too extreme or go unaddressed, they can lead to fatigue, weight gain, low libido, depression, and even loss of motivation. The problem is that many people treat these symptoms as normal aging rather than signs of imbalance. Hormones work together in a delicate network, and when one goes out of balance, others are affected. For example, chronic stress increases cortisol, which suppresses thyroid function and lowers sex hormones. Poor diet and lack of sleep also disrupt hormone regulation. One of the most effective ways to support hormonal balance is through lifestyle. Regular strength training, for instance, helps maintain testosterone and growth hormone levels. Healthy fats from foods like avocado, nuts, and olive oil provide the raw materials needed for hormone production. Adequate sleep allows hormones to cycle properly, while fasting or reducing sugar intake improves insulin sensitivity, another key factor in hormonal health. Instead of immediately turning to synthetic hormone replacements, it's wise to first optimize natural balance through nutrition, exercise, and stress management. Supporting the liver with nutrient-rich foods also helps because it's the organ responsible for processing hormones. Herbal adaptogens such as ashwagandha or maca root can gently support hormonal equilibrium for some people. However, balance is personal, and what works for one person may not work for another. Listening to your body, getting regular checkups, and working with a knowledgeable healthcare provider can help identify what's really happening inside. Balanced hormones make everything else easier. Better energy, clearer thinking, stable mood, and improved recovery from exercise. Finally, perhaps the most destructive mistake of all is believing that it's too late to change. This mindset quietly robs people of the motivation to take action. After 50, it's common to hear people say that they're too old to start exercising, too set in their ways to change their diet, or that aging simply means decline. But that belief couldn't be further from the truth. The human body is remarkably adaptable. Cells regenerate, muscles grow, and the brain can form new connections at any age. What matters most is consistency and mindset. When you believe improvement is possible, you naturally take the small daily actions that create it. People often underestimate how quickly the body can respond to positive changes. Within weeks of better nutrition, improved hydration, or consistent movement, energy returns, digestion improves, and mood lifts. Within months, blood markers change, sleep becomes deeper, and strength increases. Age does not limit the body's ability to heal. It only limits how much time we give ourselves to start. The biggest transformation happens not just physically, but mentally. When people in their 50s, 60s, or even 70s begin to feel their strength returning, their entire perspective on aging changes. They no longer see themselves as declining, but as evolving. This mindset shift also changes how people approach challenges. Instead of avoiding discomfort, they start to embrace it as a signal of growth. Every walk, every healthy meal, every mindful choice becomes an act of renewal. There are countless stories of individuals who reversed chronic illness, built new careers, or discovered passions after 50. What they all share is a decision to take control rather than accept decline. The human body has an incredible capacity for repair, but it needs participation. The moment you decide it's not too late, you open the door to possibilities that didn't exist before. When these last 6 principles come together, they form a powerful framework for true wellness after 50. Understanding medications and using them wisely, managing stress before it controls you, staying connected to others, moving your body with purpose, maintaining hormonal balance, and keeping a hopeful mindset all work together to transform aging from something to fear into something to master. Each of these steps is about regaining authority over your own health. The body always seeks balance, and with the right support, it will find its way back to strength, clarity, and vitality. So those are the 18 mistakes most people over 50 make, but now you know how to avoid them. Small, consistent changes can turn back your biological clock, because it's not about living longer, it's about living better. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe to Wellness Decode, and share in the comments which mistake surprised you most, or which one you're fixing starting today. And remember, your body is designed to heal. You just have to stop getting in its way. Stay healthy, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.